Hey there. Today I'm going to discuss a very interesting topic. The topic is that in Python world when we are speaking, we use the two terms methods and functions very much interchangeably. But are they really same? Are functions and methods both are one and the same thing, or are there any differences between the methods and functions? Today I am going to dwell upon this topic only. But before I jump into the differences, let us first understand what are methods and what are functions. Now, I am going to define here a variable called, let us say, uh, hello world, and let me print something like this, where is, and let me put here like this, and then I am going to write here where dot upper, and let me at the same time define something one more, 5 2 minus 5 minus 6, let's say, put it here 4, print L is of type and type L. Let me save this program and run this very quickly on my terminal. Wrong spelling, methods dot py. Here you see where is hello world, first line. Here I am getting where is hello world. Next I am using upper, so I am getting everything into the uppercase. Now here I am getting is of type class list. What happens if I go here and do something like that, l dot sort, and then print one more time l, clear the terminal. Now here you see it is in sorted manner, list is. So here we have come across two functions. One is upper. If you see, I have defined a variable called var, and then I am using var dot upper. Similarly here I have defined a list l, and I am using a sort method. I am sorting it. So these are methods. var and l, these are called not only variable, these are objects in Python world. In Python world everything is an object. Python is an object oriented language. Everything that you create is an object. So I have to first define an object, and then I have to use the dot notation to access the method that are associated with it. So these are the inbuilt methods that Python already provides, but you can define your own methods also. Let me make everything a comment up to here, and let me create a class. Let us call that addition, and here we can say something like that, def underscore underscore init underscore underscore self value underscore 1 comma value underscore 2, and then we can say self underscore value underscore 1 is equal to value underscore 1, self dot value underscore 2 is equal to value underscore 2, and then we can define here, let us call it sum, and self. What I'm going to do here is that return self dot value underscore 1, self dot value underscore 2. So this is our class addition. Now I am going to create an object using this particular class addition, and I am going to pass two parameter like 2 plus 3, 2 and 3. And if I print here obj dot sum, now I am going to save it, clear the terminal, and run this program. Now I am getting here 5, which is actually the sum of 2 and 3. In the same manner we can create another method. Let me copy all of this and paste it over here, and let's call this one difference. I will keep everything same. Let me change the name here of the method to diff, and from addition I am changing it to minus, and here it should be difference, and similarly here I am going to change it to diff, and rest of the code I am going to keep the same. So here you see, so the first one sum is giving me addition of 2 and 3, and here difference of 2 and 3 it is giving me -1. Let me change the name of the objects for a minute. Let's call it underscore 1, and similarly let's call it underscore 2 for a moment, and let me run the program again. The output should be same. Here you see it is the same. Why I changed it? Because I just wanted to show it to you. Object 1 is created using class addition, and on this object I can, if I try to run object 1 dot, I cannot use the diff. If I try to use diff here, it is going to give me an error. Let me clear this terminal. Here you see attribute error, because there is no attribute or method associated with object 1 which is called diff. It is with object 2. First thing is that in order to access a method you have to define an object, and using the dot notation you access the method. Second thing is that a method which is associated with one object may not necessarily work with another object also. For example, in the same manner, if you come over here, if I change here into the built-in functions, upper is a method which is associated with strings, but it is not associated with lists. If I go over here and type dot and try to make it upper, there is no function here. If I save it and run it again you see it is throwing an error. So there is no method which is associated with lists, which is called upper. So two things we have noticed about methods so far. Methods, for accessing the methods we need to create an object, and we need to use the dot notation with that object. No object, no method. First thing. Second thing is that a method which is associated with one object may not necessarily work with another object. We have seen it with both user defined methods and built-in methods. Now let us jump to functions. What are functions? Functions are block of codes which perform a specific task. Their purpose of whole life is to perform a specific task. For example, if you see here print, it's a function. And if you notice here, print is taking an argument. I am not using anything here. I am not using any object here. Print is instead taking an argument. So if I go over here, let me make everything a comment and run here, come here, print. I am simply giving a print statement, and now if I go and run, it is still running, although it is printing nothing here. So a function can take some arguments or it may not take arguments. Second thing, so primarily the first difference that we have seen so far between a method and a function is that in order to access a method you always need to have an object, but on the other hand a function takes an object as the argument if you supply to it. So that is the first difference that we have seen. What does it mean? It means is that functions are independent of objects, and just like methods, again functions can be of two types. One is the user defined function and another one is the built-in function, like print that I have used here, or type. You can see here type is also a type of function which is taking L, that is list, as an argument. You can define your own functions as well. So very quickly let me go over here, and functions can be defined using, let's here like this. So if I go over here and say print hello world, and if I call this function, then it is going to print hello world. And you see here it is not taking any argument. Similarly, a function can take an argument. If I go and modify it something like this, I just give here n and do it here like this. So now if I go here while calling the function, if I print it, type here 3, now it is going to print hello world 3 times. You see hello world, then again hello world, and then again hello world. On the other hand, a function may not return anything. So a user defined function or a built-in function both can accept an argument. They may not accept an argument. They can return a value. They may not return a value. So in a nutshell, if I have to summarize, all methods are functions, but not all functions are methods. Methods are always tied to an object. In order to call a method, you have to create an object, and using the dot notation only, then you can access those methods. Whereas functions are independent of objects. In fact, functions are the ones which are called upon the object. These were some of the differences between methods and functions in Python. If you find this video useful, consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Till that time, happy coding. And before I end the video, I am going to upload all these codes onto my Git page as well. Till that time, happy coding.